Good evening and welcome back to Mystic Matters. We are the Greater Mystic Chamber of Commerce, and I want to introduce to you someone really special that's co-hosting with me tonight, pinch hitting in for Kristin. I don't know where she went. She was here last week. She's gone this week. But we have Ainslie Daly. Well, you know, Ainslie, this is really, it's one of the reasons why I say it's just a great pleasure to introduce Ainslie is that she sort of wears a couple of different hats, like a lot of us in the community. But Ainslie works for us at the Mystic Aquarium.
Yes. Yeah, I do.
And you've been there
almost 3 years. Yeah.
Ainslie's been there 3 years. And what department do you work at?
Marketing.
Okay, which is a great department as well.
Yep.
And I'm also happy to announce that Ainslie is one of our board of directors on the Greater Mystic Chamber of Commerce board of directors, but you wear a couple of different hats too.
Oh yeah, they get you involved there.
Yes. So what do you do?
The Outdoor Art Festival Committee.
Okay.
The social media chair, so I help.
Well, that's a good thing. Yep.
Yep, and also the Welcome Center, so helping build the Welcome Center and.
Yeah. So they drag you in. Huh?
They do. Oh, you sound good at that.
Yeah. I know. If you just smile down at the Chamber of Commerce, you're in.
Yeah.
Never raise your hand and never think it's a good idea. Okay, because otherwise you're in. So what do we have going on, Ainslie?
So the Outdoor Art Festival is coming up, downtown Mystic. Of course, that's all we're talking about, right?
Yes.
It's awesome. We have 3 beautiful posters that we're selling this year.
Let's hold them up.
Yeah, so these are all designs. They're going to be on everything this year. So kind of the nautical myths, right?
Is that what
under
it's called?
the sea?
Yeah.
The different
Rita
myths
Rivera.
Yeah. So
Fantastic.
we have this one, kind of old school.
We have this one.
That one I love, the narwhal.
I love that.
And
then we've got this one.
Yeah, this is the committee shirt this year.
Yes.
So I'll get one of these.
Love that little
the
mermaid.
on the
You gotta have one of those.
Yeah, so these will be for sale. They're only a few bucks, so definitely
collect
them all.
The posters are for sale, but also we have t-shirts.
Yep,
too.
really pretty t-shirts
Okay.
in all different kind of colors, and also really nice tote bags.
Okay.
You can put your art in and walk
around with
Use,
it.
groceries, whatever.
So it's our 61st years.
Yeah.
We're at the art festival. Last year we celebrated the 60th, and it should be a great show.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, it's the 11th and 12th. Come on down, and we look forward to seeing you there. So, speaking of that, Ainslie, the next couple of weeks, and you've seen some previous shows, we are able to highlight our artists. Now, you see the people down on the streets, but this year we were able to highlight our artists, and I just want to introduce this evening Lauren Gardner. Welcome, Lauren.
Hi, how are you? Thank you so much for having me.
You're welcome.
So she's a mystic.
Yeah.
Yes, so I live right in downtown Mystic, and it's such a wonderful area to be an artist. There's an amazing art scene in downtown Mystic, so it's been an amazing experience being downtown.
Good.
So how long have you lived in Mystic?
I've lived in Mystic for about a year and a half now.
And you're
lived in Connecticut for the past 6 or so years. Grew up in New Hampshire before that.
But you're an East Coast girl.
Yes.
New England girl.
Well,
Definitely.
Ainslie, you're the same thing, right?
Pawcatuck.
Yeah, Pawcatuck.
Yep.
You're a hometown.
Hometown
We've
girl.
got. I want to tell you something. We've got hometown girls here this evening, so that's fantastic. So Lauren, it's all about you this evening. So I said one of the first questions, and then I'll turn it over to Ainslie for any of the other questions. But how did you get started?
Sure. So actually, art has always been a passion of mine from a very young age. I was taking art classes as early as 8 years old, and I've always loved it. It's been just a release and just such a outlet for my creative expression. In school, I minored in studio art and studied with the Museum of Fine Art while I was in Boston at Boston College, and kind of put my art on hold for a bit as I pursued medical sales. And this year, just being in the center of a great art scene, living in Mystic, I really wanted to dive fully into the art world. So I'm showcasing at the Mystic Museum of Art for the elected artists, and this will be my first outdoor Mystic Art Festival, so I'm so excited to participate.
You made it to the jury process.
Yes, I've seen all of the artists out in their booths before and aspired to become like that, so I'm incredibly excited to showcase this year.
Yeah, that's great. So how do you decide what you want to paint? What inspires you to do your paintings?
Absolutely. So I really love nature, and Mystic is such a great spot to be inspired by nature, of course. But flowers have always come very naturally to me. I love to create flowers, waves, the oceanscape as well, any scenery. But I really love to create something that has kind of a surreal feeling. So I paint large scale. This is some of my pieces, and I paint even larger than these pieces sometimes, because I want the viewer to feel immersed in the painting and feel that surreal, ethereal feel that I'm trying to express. So yeah, flowers have tended to be my subject matter. I take a lot of photographs while I'm traveling. I've taken a lot throughout Mystic, but also traveled to about 30 countries, so I take a lot from my photographs, but I never...
30 countries?
Yeah.
I mean, I've traveled too, but I haven't been to 30 countries. Don't even tell me, Lauren, that you've traveled to 30 countries just to take pictures.
Not just to take pictures.
I hope you're having a good time.
Yeah, definitely.
While you're traveling and learning about the history.
Amazing experiences.
So you know what we're going to do right now is we're going to show some of the images, and if you just, we have how many images that we're going to show this
About
evening?
6 of them.
We have 6 of them. So take us through how it starts with you and your, of course, your passion for this and the media that you use to get the end result.
Absolutely.
And tell us a little bit on the image size.
The size? So the size of this one is actually the same as the one over my right-hand shoulder.
Okay.
It's
We'll take a
about
look at that.
45 inches high, I think. So I'll take an image like a rose, but I want to make it uniquely my own. And sometimes I have a clear vision of what that's going to be before I start the painting. And sometimes it comes as I'm painting the painting. So this one I really wanted to kind of evoke an emotion. So a lot of my ideas come from listening to songs or just having song lyrics play in the background of my studio, or just having those emotions inspire the color palette or what I'm going to do with that. So this rose I wanted to be more of a somber tone, and so I had it kind of dripping off the page like fluid or liquid. And so this one is actually being showcased right now at the museum, the Mystic Art Museum, and it's done in an acrylic. I tend to paint mostly acrylic these days because it's just easier for my home studio. It dries a little bit faster and it's easier to manipulate, but I love all the mediums.
Wow. So this to me, Ainslie, I mean, this is absolutely gorgeous, but you put so much into this, Lauren. It's funny how you come up with the result. Like you were saying, this is kind of
in your head already, too.
Yeah, it's. I mean, just the way you were describing this, just I couldn't do this. No, but you was describing, I'm like, okay, somber. Okay. Well, that's. I wouldn't be able to get to this finished product so beautifully.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much.
It's
very
gorgeous.
sweet of you.
All right, we have a next one.
So this one we actually have here today with us as
show
well.
That in the back.
So this one I took this photograph in Paris, actually, just a close-up of a flower, but I wanted to make it feel surreal by using those bright colors and just making it larger than life on a large-scale canvas. So this was actually one of my first large-scale paintings.
Great. So delicate.
Thank you.
It looks so, you know.
Yeah, it did. Yeah,
it really captures the.
But Paris also.
Yeah.
So she went to Paris. And this is what she.
Cool.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's one of the 30 countries that we tapped into. Okay, Frank. I love this one.
Oh, thank you so much.
I love this painting. This almost looks. It almost doesn't look real. Tell me about this one.
Yeah.
It sort of has that Asian flair too.
It does, yes. That's definitely, I think I had pulled some inspiration from that area of the world.
Is this the same medium?
So this is the same medium.
Okay.
Yep, this one's also a 36 by 36, just like the last rose, and it's done in acrylic. And so this one I wanted to do just make the orchids pop. So I just did a black getso as the background to just really make that simple and allow those colors to really shine through. And then on the petals, you can't really see it in the image as much as you can see it in person, but it allows the petals to be a little bit translucent so that black is coming through, and it really shows how those petals look in real life.
I don't know if this is something, I don't know about you, but this is so intricate. I just can't picture somebody doing this, and again, to come out so beautifully. But I do have a question for you. Are there names on these beautiful paintings? I mean, does this have a name? I mean, is there some kind of inspiration?
So they have fairly simple names right now. I'm thinking of possibly renaming the line after the songs that have inspired them. So I'd have to go back and kind of recall which songs and which lyrics were the ones that inspired each one of these paintings. But for now, they're very simple names. This one, I think, is just the orchids.
Okay, so not only 30 countries, there are hundreds of lyrics that inspire you as well.
Yes,
Lauren?
so I like the paintings to not just be what you would capture in a photograph. I want them to have the same emotion and for you to be able to kind of feel the emotion that I put into the paintings. So I definitely use music as a way to be able to evoke that emotion in the paintings.
Wow. So what artists inspire you? What?
Oh gosh, everything really.
Yeah.
I really can't narrow it down. It can be whatever is coming on the radio at the time in my studio. I know for this next piece that I think we have a slide of it, but we also have it.
Yep, we'll do the next one.
So
that.
This one was actually inspired by a number of songs, but one that comes to mind as I was working this piece, and this one was full of happy little mistakes as I kept reworking it to make it what I wanted. But as I was texturizing the background of this painting and making that white really a strong texture, I realized that's not what I wanted at all, and I was sanding it down and trying to figure out where I wanted, and it created these little pockets on the sides so that it almost looked like ice. And at the time, I think it was a Goo Goo Dolls song playing, saying the world turned over and scattered like ice. It was your world. And I was like, what an amazing image to create. Why couldn't I just make this wave scatter like ice? And so I've kind of made it look like it's cracking like ice, and then added kind of a glass, almost like a stained glass type of effect to it.
Yeah, we'll get back to this image because it's obviously behind us, Ainslie, and this is, when you brought it in, it's just spectacular.
Thank you.
It really is spectacular. You've got to name this one. You have to name this one.
Definitely.
Next.
And this one we also have here today. So this one was taken from some realistic photos of orchids, but I wanted to make it uniquely my own style. And so I decided to put these orchids submerged in water and almost have them.
I was going to say,
okay.
It looks like it's got a dewy effect.
Yeah.
Yep. So it's almost like drowning or something like that. So I combined the elements of painting the flowers as well as painting the water, and just wanted to create this imaginary, surreal world.
But you've said a couple of key things: somber, imaginary, surreal. But they're all happy at the very end. They come out very happy.
Yeah,
and you're describing a lot of these paintings, and it seems like at the moment that's how you feel, but at the end result, it's just happy.
It's coming across as happy, definitely. And this one for sure, with the colors that I ended up using, I did want to create kind of a cheerful expression at the very end. I think you'll see in the next photo, I think the presence of color is really powerful for emotion, and it can definitely make that happy emotion come through. But also the absence of color, I have a great time exploring with that too, because in this one, because there is no color, I think it is a little bit more on the somber spectrum. So I was able to really kind of focus on just the black and whites and then the tones of green.
I love the black. I love the ones with the black background. They look almost like vintage too, a little bit. Like an older style.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. What is this flower?
This one,
because it's sort of it looks like a combination of something,
it could just be a
like
Lauren created flower.
I have to ask it because
loosely taken from some real life flowers, but became my own.
Yeah, it's kind of like there's a couple of flowers married each other, and this is what came to mind. And this is a larger image as well.
This is as well. This is 36 by 36, same size as the pink rose behind you over there, and it's also acrylic with a black Jetso background.
So we're all set, showing some of the images. So I just wanted to point out, so you have all the three pieces here. We have them all in the studio here. But if you look at this one right in back, it's just the bolt of color. You almost want to ride it. Okay? I don't know about you, Ainslie, but that's the way I feel. I want to ride this wave.
Nice and cool on these hot days. I'm going to jump in.
So who are your customers? I mean, you've had the studio for how long?
I live in downtown Mystic, but this will be my first time showcasing. So I'm currently showcasing at the Mystic Museum of Art, but this will be my first sales opportunity to have my paintings sold. So
this is fantastic. But how long have you been painting?
I've been painting for a long time. Since I was 8 years old, I was taking classes in all mediums, and then seriously in college when I minored in studio art.
Well, it's interesting.
Yeah.
It's interesting that she came from the medical sort of sales side of things. And so when did you actually, we've all had our careers. I'm just wondering, when you start to you're really living your passion right now.
Right.
When did that what happened that you said, okay. I mean, for myself and Ainslie, you probably have a story too, but it was corporate America, and I just said, hello, wait, I can't.
Definitely.
Having a boss probably wasn't.
You were the boss. I can't.
Do you see? Ainslie's laughing. She knows me. She knows me. I mean, being my boss. So that was the passion to start a small business, and that was way over 30 years ago. And I'm so glad I made the sacrifice and ate the ramen noodles, continued that after school, to do your passion. So I guess my question is, when does somebody know that, and then when did you just decide that? Because that's you're fairly young, and you just did it.
Yeah, I think I've always known that art is my passion from a very young age, and at school I definitely wanted to have that minor in art and keep that creative outlet, and the major in biology to have the practicality of it. And I think it was a great balance, because art became my outlet, going to my studio on Friday nights to decompress after the biology exams was so important to me. And I think I love my medical sales career and everything, but I miss that creative outlet. So being able to do this is so huge for me, and it's a huge part of my passion. So I think what made me decide to really get involved in this and take that leap into the art world was just being in Mystic and seeing this art world and seeing that artists hang their paintings in the restaurants or the breweries or the juiceries, and everything is about this art world. So I thought I'll take a dive into being
Mystic. Made it happen.
Definitely. Yeah. And I actually had the opportunity to see, I know last year Russ Kramer was on your show.
Yes.
And
he's going to be on, I think, in a couple of weeks as well.
Nice.
Yeah. He won Best in Show.
He's phenomenal. So he was painting one of the live paintings at the Ocean House, and I got to speaking with him and how he's made a career out of art here in Mystic as well, and it was very inspirational. And I thought, being downtown, I may as well try and be successful at this as well.
Well, I'm very happy that we look at a lot of artwork, and we don't necessarily look at where people live. So because we concentrate mostly, on the artists. And I do remember, looking at your artwork and being part of the jury process with I didn't make the decisions, but, being there to oversee and helping out a little bit. But I saw your name, I said, wow, that's going to be, someone from our area, presenting in a first-time show. So do you have any expectations for this particular show? I hope you sell a lot.
Well, thank you. I feel like I don't have expectations going into it. I'm so excited to be a part of it and just to hear the feedback from the locals that come through and from the tourists that come through and see what they're looking for. And I'm absolutely open to creating custom pieces for people if they like my style, but if they want something specific for their house that with a specific color palette. So I'm just excited.
Cool. That's really cool. I'm sure there's a huge demand for that. People want their own, all
Definitely.
the interior decorating now, and people love their homes and want something custom now. I feel like that's a big thing.
We better get that out
cool.
there too, because like Lauren said, a lot of times that's a question asked for some of our artists if they would custom design something for their homes. And there is a lot of building going on, and there's a lot of renovating going on because the New London County area, including our the Greater Mystic Chamber of Commerce, reach Groton, Stonington, Mystic, Pawcatuck. I mean, we just it's hopping. Let me tell you, it's really hopping in our particular area. So Lauren has already spoken and said, look, if you want me to paint something, I'm going to do it, because wouldn't that be nice to have something hung in our local area, or not even in our local area. I mean, it could go to Long Island, it could go wherever. But I do have a question, start to finish, like this painting in back of me. How long did it take you to do this? This is a large painting.
Yeah.
It really varies piece to piece, and this one actually took me quite some time because I reworked it so many times. I was trying to figure out what direction I wanted to go with it as I was already painting it. So there was a lot of reworking this one. So this one probably took a few months, but I also have paintings that I showed today on the slides that have taken a couple days. So it's really, it depends on if the vision's coming right away to me or if I'm working through it. And I think this one, I'm really glad that I worked through a few different pathways of it, because it came to be something very uniquely me and something that I have not seen previously, where with the effects of the shattered glass elements and everything, it's very my style, and I'm glad that it did go through the happy little mistakes that it went through.
But the mistakes sometimes are the best.
Oh, of course, yeah.
You know what I mean? I always say this is part of your journey. So how many pieces are you showing down at your booth, and where are you located? Do you know?
I am located on Water Street, so between Sift and Pizzetta. So come grab a pastry at Sift and visit me. And I will be...
I must say, Lauren, you scored
I did.
with your location, because I know for a fact that Sift is open up, I think it's 7 o'clock in the morning, I believe they're open, because I've been there when... By about 8 o'clock, there's a line, and and just a shout out to Adam winning America's Best Baker, and we have him right down. He and his wife are just wonderful people, right down in the heart of Mystic on Water Street. That happens to be one of my favorite locations on the Groton side. Is Water Street.
Definitely.
You've got all the great restaurants down there, which we have throughout the show, and so you're at a very, very good location, and I just wish you all the luck. But name your pieces, because I think that's going to be, because sometimes people go home and they love to say, I bought this piece and this is the whatever, but you'll be there to sign it as well.
Definitely.
So on the rose, can we just get back to the rose from Petty? All right, this is Paris, right?
Yes.
So you went to Paris, and typically with these 30 countries, you take a photo, you take a picture of it, and then start painting it.
Right.
Right. So where was this rose? In your hotel room? I mean, I just want to know 30 countries. I'm just obsessed with this.
Where specifically?
I think it was in Nice that I found that rose.
Okay. And is there one particularly that in your show that you've taken in Mystic?
So I do have quite a few that I'm working on. I'm about halfway through them, so I'm hoping to have them complete by the time that the show comes around in August. So I have taken some photographs from walking around Mystic of some of the flowers and everything. So hopefully they will be in the show as well.
Yeah. That's great. So Ainslie, let's talk a little bit about the art festival, what time it starts, or... Do you know what time it starts?
All I know is I'll be there first thing in the morning, 6 a.m.
Well, really pinch hit here a little bit. So having done the show for 15 years, so Ainslie's part of the setup crew, which we very much appreciate.
Yes.
Ainsley, it's the toughest morning. It's on Saturday morning, where you have captains on the street and of course the volunteers, and reach out to the co-chairs Lauren and Amanda for really stepping up, and the committee to help out with the show. So 6 o'clock, everybody's down on the street. Not any earlier. We will be towing. The police will be towing if you're parked where there are no parking. Both Groton side and the Stonington side, our police departments will be setting up signs that will be saying no parking. My suggestion is that you have all your cars off the street by midnight on Friday night, so that we don't have to tow. We don't want to tow, and that simply causes a problem for the artists to come in and bring well, not for Lauren, because she can just kind of get a crew of people and walk down from her apartment and set it up. And then the artist will start filling in. Our team is here. They'll be on walkie-talkies to help you maneuver, to solve any problems that may happen during that morning. And so the festival will open up at 9 o'clock on Saturday, and then there you go. So we have some nonprofits too. I don't know all the nonprofits that are going to be there, but we definitely will have something to eat. The Boy Scouts will be on the flagpole right there. So if you want any hot dogs and hamburgers, and
a few food trucks, and just a few of them. Greek and Out, I believe, will be there.
Okay, great.
More cupcakes. So a few unique ones that we don't really, we don't have a Greek restaurant downtown.
Right.
But we're also working to do a paint your palette route, where you can stop at the different restaurants and bars, and they'll have a special that you can try that's kind of art inspired. So that's
nice.
new this year.
I love this.
Yeah.
That's
So
great.
Karma Kitchen's going to be doing something.
Karma Kitchen. She's Liz at
Engine
Karma.
Room.
Yep.
So stay tuned for that, and there'll be an insert in the programs, and so not only will you get to explore downtown and the paintings and everything, but I mean, everybody kind of pokes in the restaurants and then walks in and leaves.
Right.
So now they'll have actually something specific and nice, special, kind of art inspired, so you can kind of pick and choose what you want to try.
So that's new this year,
That's
too.
new, yeah.
That's fantastic.
Yes.
Now, is there a children's art park, or we do have that?
Yeah, there's still the Children's Art Park. They'll have all the arts and crafts in there. Nice little photo ops. A bunch of local organizations doing
We'll come and help out.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, they do all sorts of different crafts and
There is
activities.
no reason not to come to Mystic. Okay. And as parking goes, I know there's parking. There's paid for parking at the church behind the museum. There's paid for parking at two of the churches. I know St. Patrick's and the downtown local churches and the Union Baptist Church. And that also helps out the local organizations as well. So we're going to wrap it up here in just a few minutes. I want to just shout out to Lauren Gardner, who's going to be on Warren Street. Just say Sift, and you'll know. My favorite lemon scones. Thank you, Adam. I just want to shout out to that because those are my favorite. There you are.
They're so
and
good.
that's how we can find you. And good luck,
Thank you so
Lauren.
much.
So, and if I have the opportunity, we'll stop by and see you.
Definitely.
And have a lot of water. Wear a hat. You've got a great presentation. I know you're going to sell a few paintings. Definitely want to call me and let me know if you sell this one right here, because I think it's beautiful.
Sounds good.
Ainslie Daly, first of all, congratulations to
Thank
Ainslie.
you.
Ainslie got married in the month of May. We're just so happy for her and her participation, not only in the Greater Mystic Chamber of Commerce, but at the Mystic Aquarium as well. So we are the Greater Mystic Chamber of Commerce. We are Mystic Matters. You better show up on the 11th and 12th, because we're going to come and find you. And thank you for being with us this evening. Good evening.